Hello there and welcome to the very first Champions League preview of the season. We are kicking off tonight against PSG at Anfield. And we're going to take a look at some things. I haven't necessarily got all the stats of PSG's season so far, but I've got a couple. I'm going to go through that as well. Obviously, ours as well. So, yeah, it's going to be an exciting time. A lot of people are nervous for this fixture. I'm really excited for it. I really, really am. We played against Tottenham. We played well. We played well. They didn't play so well. They are a quality team in the Premier League, but they aren't clicking right now at the moment. Why does this have any relevance whatsoever to PSG? Well, PSG are bang in form in their league. Now, I must say, straight away, I actually did watch some of the League on fixtures over the weekend. I remembered, what was it, Marseille versus EA Ginkamp, or however you say that name. The quality of football was a little bit lacking. So what is the gulf between PSG and the rest of the teams in League On? I would say it's quite vast. Because when you look at PSG also, like Liverpool, we have an unbeaten season right now. We are unbeaten. We've got 5 wins. I think PSG as well also have an 100% record, and they also have a lot of wins. I think they've also got a lot of goals though as well. I think their goal difference stands at scored 17, conceded 4 in their initial games. I don't know if they played 4 or 5. So they've scored a lot of goals. They've got a lot of talented players. They've got a lot of expensive players as well. 2 obviously being Mbappe and Neymar. 2 players that were actually rested in the game that they played on Friday night. So whether they were rested, actually I think they were rested, but also Mbappe was suspended for that game, so he wouldn't have been able to play anyway. So they've scored a lot of goals against possibly opposition that isn't of their level. You look at that team all the way through it. The only question mark really could be the goalkeeper. Buffon is apparently not going to be playing tonight, and neither is Veratti. And there is someone else, Kurzawa, I think, who's one of the fullbacks, is possibly going to be missing from tonight as well, which could be big misses. But I don't know a great deal about their goalkeeper that they have in reserve to Buffon. Obviously, if it was Buffon, we know him. He's had so many years of experience. We all know what Buffon brings to the table as a class goalkeeper. But their replacement goalkeeper, I can't think. I don't know. I don't actually know who it is. It used to be Sirigu, but I don't know if it still is anymore. I think he might have moved on. Anyway, not important. They do have obviously Marquinhos, Thiago Silva, I think his name is, as your centre backs. But again, I don't know if they're both going to be playing or not. Dani Alves on the right hand side as well, and on left back I don't actually know who it would be. I really don't. And I'm not saying that I don't know them because I haven't gone and looked at them. I actually haven't gone and looked at them, but it's just one of those things. I don't really pay a great deal of attention to their individual leagues. I pay attention to obviously the Premier League and the Champions League and stuff like that as well. So you get into that midfield, and one of the players I was thinking would be a danger would be Veratti. He's a short, low centre of gravity player, but he is apparently going to be missing this game completely, will not feature whatsoever. So in terms of their midfield, I think there's Rabiot, who got linked to Liverpool just in this last month actually, for like a January move. So I don't know how present he is in that midfield. The midfield, I don't generally know a great deal about at all, to be honest with you. It's more the forward line that everyone knows. Like Cavani, dangerous guy. He is literally like a sniper as a centre forward. He is a very, very good centre forward. He's going to be a big threat. Obviously, the other 2 threats you'd be looking at would be Neymar and Mbappe. Other threats could include Angel Di Maria. No matter what people think of his stint at Man United, he's a very talented player, very, very good player, good technical player, good left foot as well. Obviously, the danger men you're going to be looking at is got to be their front 3. If they play as a front 3, I don't actually know their formation either. Don't know a lot. Okay, so you're going to be looking at Neymar, Mbappe, and Cavani as being their main threats, definitely. And what a threat they are on their day. Mbappe is the biggest threat for me. I know people might say Neymar, most expensive player in the world, but Mbappe is just unbridled raw talent, coupled with hard work and determination and sheer pace as well. One of the fastest players that we've ever seen. Possibly, I don't know what he looks like, what he would look like next to like Mane and Salah. possibly faster than those guys as well. Obviously, Neymar on his day has got all the tricks and flicks that you want, and obviously is prone to being able to, get free kicks from some, expert dives and stuff like that as well. So we're going to have to watch out for a lot in this game. We're going to have to watch out for a lot. But let's take a look at the Liverpool team. We have played 5 games in the Premier League. We've won 5 games in the Premier League. We have scored a fair few goals. So let's have a look. We scored 4 against West Ham, 2 against Brighton, so that takes us to 6. Was it Brighton? I can't even remember. Scored 2 in the next game anyway. No, it wasn't. It was 2 against Palace. 2 against Palace, 1 against Brighton, which takes us up to 7 goals right now. And then it was 2-1 against Leicester, which takes us up to 9 goals. And then we won again the other day 2-1, which takes us up to 11 goals. So we've scored 11 goals, conceded 2, so it puts us on a goal difference in the league of 9, which puts us in second place, but equal on points to Chelsea. So we've done well in the league. We haven't necessarily played our best football. You could say as well, we haven't necessarily played the top teams, which we haven't. Probably the most top team we've played is Tottenham, and we were fairly comfortable, I would say. There was no part of that match. I still don't think we should have conceded that goal by Eric Lamela at the end, but it was one of those things. We were having pressure put in our box, and yeah, it just happened like that. It just, near the end of the game, 93rd minute, it should have been 2-0 to us, and that's how it should have finished. If in reality, though, if we were clicking on form and cooking on gas, we should have been like 5-0 in first half, maybe 6-0 even, from the chances that Mane and Salah were creating and couldn't just take. They just couldn't take. There was a little bit of selfishness between that front line as well. Not any one person. There was selfishness on all sides, just wrong decisions as well, making the wrong decisions. Maybe there's a better option than taking the shot on, or maybe there's a better option to your right hand side than there is on the left hand side. But you go to the left instead, and it doesn't necessarily pay off. But we looked comfortable and we played well against Tottenham. That was probably our best overall performance, and yet we played against horrible teams that are awful for us to play against. Crystal Palace, West Ham, Brighton even to an extent. Leicester have always been one of those teams where, this is a cock-up game for Liverpool, where things are going well. If we're going to cock up, we're going to do it there. And that's the same with Crystal Palace and West Ham as well. West Ham have always been like a little bit of a banana skin for us in the last couple of seasons, but we haven't necessarily played our best football. We kind of look like against Tottenham, we're maybe getting back to that. We're going to start maybe playing our best football, keeping the ball a little bit better in that midfield. And this is where the lineup is going to be absolutely crucial, which we're going to go through now. So we're going to go through what I think will be the same back 5 that we all know. Alisson, Andrew Robertson. Then we're going to play Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez, Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's what I think we're going to do. And then I think we're going to rest and rotate against Southampton at the weekend. Midfield. I think midfield, it will have Milner in it. I think that midfield will also have Henderson in it. And I think it will have possibly a choice between Naby Keita and Wijnaldum. Now, when we put Wijnaldum in there again with Henderson and Milner, it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great, and it doesn't always work. It works less. I think it works less than 50% of the time. I think it does anyway. From when I've seen it implemented, it doesn't always work. You've got hard-working players that can go box to box, but you've got no creativity. Not no creativity. You've got Milner in there who got the record of assists in a single season in the Champions League last season. He got that, and that was brilliant. He is a creative player to an extent. But for me, I would want someone like Naby Keita in there. I really, really would. If you're not going to do that, then maybe you could drop Shaqiri into the number 10 and do something like that. Play him as like the top, play 2 DM type players, whether it's Milner, Henderson. Could we see the debut of Fabinho? I would love to see the debut of Fabinho, but I'm not sure whether he wants to do that this week or whether he wants to do it against Southampton, when maybe it's slightly easier opposition on paper and getting bled into the Premier League that way, into our way of playing on a match day. I don't know. I'd love to see it because he's played against PSG before, and I think he's beaten them before as well. So, but it's again different kettle of fish, different team, different styles. You never know. I'm going to play on the side of that he's not going to give Fabinho his debut tonight, and that we're going to go with maybe a Henderson, Milner. I'd love it to be Shaqiri, but I think there's going to be a different change up front. And I think we're going to have Wijnaldum in that midfield. But let me know what you think so far of this lineup. Now, moving forward into that front line, I do think that you are going to see changes. I don't know what changes you're going to see, apart from possibly Firmino. Firmino gave a positive update about his eye injury that he had to Vertonghen sticking his finger in his eye. Again, one of those, I think it's totally accidental. You see them happen in MMA all the time, where they're like pouring out to try and get distance and try and see what that distance is before they put a strike in, and they've got open hands, and sometimes an eye poke will happen. Obviously, he's not a fighter, and it's gone into his eye pretty deep by the looks of it, and I don't think that he didn't train yesterday. They're not wanting to maybe take a risk, so they're maybe going to start with someone else up front. The two rumours are that it could be either Daniel Sturridge or Shaqiri playing that role, and I'm torn of which way I would want to go with this one, because I do think he's going to go with Salah and Mane on the right hand side and the left hand side, and I would like it to be either of Daniel Sturridge or Shaqiri. I think for pure work rate, speed and technical feat and everything like that, I think I would go with Shaqiri. The only thing that goes in Daniel Sturridge's, positives for me is we know that he's a clinical finisher on his day. It's just he doesn't offer you that work rate like a Firmino does, and obviously like I think Shaqiri can do for us as well. Especially because what we miss when we miss Firmino is that work rate and link between the midfield and the forwards. You see Firmino dropping deep, but you also see him in the box. And I think Shaqiri could give you that with a little bit more of a powerful finish on that beast of a left foot that he's got. Sturridge gives you good finishing, and he does give you good options, good passing every now and again, but he doesn't necessarily have the work rate, and I'm not slagging him off there. I just think in a game like this, coming up against that defence that they've got, like a Thiago Silva, Dani Alves and that, I think they are going to... Are they a tall defence? I can't remember if they are a tall defence or not. I think at least 6 foot. And I think they may have a little bit of pace about them, but I'm not sure at all. I know about them from FIFA, and that's not accurate whatsoever. So I think I would go with Shaqiri. I would. People might think giving him his full debut in the Champions League might be risky, but if we're not going to play Firmino, it's going to be a risk whoever you choose anyway. And for me, I would go with Shaqiri. I think he's going to give you that pace and work rate, and that would be quite a fearsome front three anyway for anyone to face with Salah, Mane and Shaqiri. So I think that's what I would go with, and then just see what we do at the weekend. But we're not focusing on the weekend right now, focusing on the Champions League. And that would be my lineup. So I'm going to run through it again. It would be Alisson, Andrew Robertson, Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Then we're going to go with Henderson, Milner and Gini Wijnaldum. Could be Naby Keita, and maybe he rotates at the weekend, and I would like that as well. Naby Keita could come in there, and I would love that for this game as well. It gives us that more creative outlet in midfield. Maybe that will be how he goes, but I'm going to say it's going to be Wijnaldum, but let me know what you think. And then the front line for me would be Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, Xherdan Shaqiri. Let me know what you think in the comments below about that lineup. And now we're coming in for the prediction. I'm going to go for 3-2 to Liverpool at Anfield. It's going to be a tough game. This is probably going to be... I'm billing this in my mind. This is going to be one of the toughest games that we have over this next month. And it could be a defining start to our Champions League campaign. I would love us to go out there and win it. If we drew the game, okay. If it's a competitive draw, whatever, because I'm also thinking this could just go 1-1, or we could get beat, and obviously I don't want that to happen. No Liverpool fan wants that to happen, but this is going to be a tough game. They have a very threatening front three, and Mbappe being the biggest threat for me. Aside from that, when they're missing people in midfield like Veratti, and if they're missing a left back as well, and Buffon not in goal, I think we've got more than enough in our team to go at this team and get them. We can win this game with our front three. I think all in all, attacking teams coming together, this is going to be 2 attacking teams coming together and colliding. But I think we've got more in defence and midfield and our goalkeeper than they have. And that's why I'm going for the Liverpool win. I think that we've just got a little bit more quality. We will have more intensity, pressing everything like that, that we are used to as Liverpool fans, and I think that we can come out of this one with the victory. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Am I being insane? Because a lot of people are fearing this PSG team, but I think they're only fearing it because of Neymar and Mbappe. You've got to look at the whole team as well, and yeah, they're going to be a threatening team. Also look at the quality of that league as well. They've scored 17 goals in 4 or 5 games, but having watched League On, I think there is a major gulf. It's a bit like Bayern and the Bundesliga. I think there's a major gulf in quality between that top team that has spent a lot of money and the rest of it in that league. And that could give you the illusion that, wow, these are going to smash the absolute bricks off everybody. They could do it. They absolutely could do it, and they could prove themselves as European contenders. But I think that we will get the win, and I think we will win 3-2. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for watching this video, and do subscribe if you are new around here. Like the video and get your comments down there. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.